Welcome to the Sensual Shift, the podcast where we explore the emotional, mental, and energetic sides of sensuality. The parts of ourselves that we often ignore, silence, or even rush past. I'm your host, Larice, and I'm not a licensed professional. Nothing here is medical advice. I'm simply a woman who believes that reconnecting with your sensual self is one of the most powerful transformations you can make. Each week, we'll explore a new shift, a new truth that helps you step deeper into confidence, connection, and self awareness. Today, we're talking about something many of us struggle with, even if we don't admit it out loud: receiving without guilt. Whether it's receiving help, receiving pleasure, receiving rest, receiving compliments, or receiving abundance, so many people tense up the moment something good is offered to them. And that tension isn't random. It's learned, it's patterned, and guess what? It can be unlearned too. Today, we're going to explore why receiving feels uncomfortable, what research says about it, and how to gently shift into a more open, grounded relationship with receiving, and without apology and without shrinking. So let's get started. Most people were never taught how to receive, right? We were taught how to perform, how to produce, how to be useful, how to be strong, how to be self sufficient and take care of ourselves. But receiving, that was framed as indulgent, needy, or sometimes selfish. A few grounded facts I found. Studies in social psychology show that people often feel indebted when receiving help, and even when the giver expects nothing in return. This is called reciprocity anxiety, and it's extremely common. Research from the University of California, Berkeley, found that people who struggle with self worth often interpret receiving as a burden to others, even when the giver feels joy in giving. And they feel like they don't want to be the reason why this person has to go out of their way or do these other things. Like, oh no, if I ask you to do this for me, it's going to be too much. You know, think about how many times someone has complimented you and your first instinct was to downplay it. Oh, this whole thing? Or that's nothing. I had this for a long time. Now, that's not humility. That's a learned discomfort that we have gotten with receiving. Cultural conditioning also plays a part. Many communities teach that good people give, sacrifice, and endure, but rarely rest or receive and often feel used. So if receiving feels uncomfortable for you, it's not a personal flaw, it's a learned pattern. Think about it. So what's the cost of overgiving and never receiving? Overgiving is often praised, but it comes with consequences. Chronic overgiving is linked to burnout, emotional exhaustion, and resentment. Overgiving also numbs the senses. It disconnects you from your body, and it keeps you in a constant state of output, leaving no room for input. When you're always giving, where is the time for you to receive anything? You can't. A 2018 study in the Journal of Positive Psychology found that people who constantly prioritize others over themselves experience lower life satisfaction and higher stress. So stop trying to be a people pleaser. Stop trying to do everything for everybody. Stop for a moment and let somebody do something for you. Overgiving can also distort relationships because when you never receive, you never allow others to contribute, connect, or show up for you. Receiving isn't selfish. Remember, it's relational. For example, maybe you're the friend everyone calls, but when you need support, you don't reach out. Not because no one cares, but because you don't want to bother anyone. That's overgiving turning into isolation. You're always there for everyone else, always there to listen to everyone else's problems. That's giving. But when you're going through something, you go on the shell, you use the excuse, oh, I didn't want to bother anybody. I like to deal with things on my own. I like to be alone when I'm going through something. And that's isolation. Okay. You cannot be the one who's always listening and encouraging and helping and don't feel comfortable with going to anybody. You have to have at least one person that you can go to and receive some sound advice or just receive a listening ear. Okay. When you never receive, your sensuality dims, your pleasure threshold lowers, and your nervous system stays in doing mode instead of feeling mode. Receiving is what brings you back into your body. So remember, find that one person. Don't isolate. So how does guilt show up? Now, a lot of times when we are the givers and then we start to receive, some people feel guilty. Guilt around receiving often sounds like, I don't want to be a burden. I should be able to handle this myself. Other people need this more than I do. If I accept this, I owe them, or I owe you one. I don't deserve this. Some of us might not say this out loud. Some of us will say this to ourselves or later on. It also shows up physically. The tight shoulders, holding your breath. A quick no, I'm okay. A deflection of the compliments. Like I said earlier, oh, this whole thing, oh, I had this for a long time. Or a rush to give a compliment back immediately. Never feel guilty for receiving. Never feel guilty for receiving a compliment. Never feel guilty for receiving a nice gift. Never feel guilty for receiving your partner if you really love them. Just don't feel guilty about it. It's okay. These thoughts are not truths. They're protective scripts. Scripts that once kept you safe, but now they're keeping you small. Your sensual body wants something different. It wants space. It wants warmth. It wants to feel good without apology. So how do you shift into receiving? This is where the practice begins. It's not a ritual, not a performance, just a grounded, repeatable practice. Number 1, pause before you deflect. When someone offers you help, like a compliment or care, pause. Notice the urge to reject it. Let that moment breathe. Let your breath drop. Let your shoulders soften. And let your body register the offering before your mind rejects it. Replace no, I'm fine with thank you. A simple thank you is a powerful receiving practice. It acknowledges the gift without over-explaining or apologizing. Second practice is start small. And like I said, receive a compliment, receive a moment of rest. You can receive a meal you didn't cook, somebody else cooked for you. Receive pleasure without rushing. Take your time with it. And small openings create bigger ones. So you can start small. You don't have to start with a big old grand gesture. Somebody does not have to go out of their way and do this big old grand thing if you're not used to receiving, if you're not comfortable with receiving. Start small. Receive some rest. I know a lot of us are tired these days. A lot of us are working. The economy, the cost of living is out of this world. So we're all working to keep, housing over our heads. Food is expensive as hell. Receive a moment of rest. I encourage everyone to do that. And then you can reframe receiving as connection. When you receive, you're not taking. You're allowing someone else to contribute. That's relational generosity. So this is where the Larice world comes in. Receiving isn't just emotional now. is sensory. It can be receiving warmth from a cup of tea, receiving softness from a blanket, those fleece blankets. It's kind of cold right now. It's the winter time. Receiving nourishment from comfort food, from your favorite food, that food that just makes you feel good, that restaurant that just makes you feel good with those good vibes and those good dishes. Receiving pleasure from touch or intimacy, hugging, rubbing on your partner's leg, laying close with your boo, cuddling, or even laying up with your children, giving hugs to your kids. It doesn't always have to be in the significant other, your sister, your brother, your mother. Receiving quietness. In a world where it's always noisy, always moving. I know some people, they can't function without noise. They're used to a lot of people being in the house, a lot of people being around, and when it's quiet and it's peaceful, they don't know what to do with it. But just receive a moment of quietness where you can think and breathe and just relax. These are all forms of receiving that don't require permission or apology. They're human needs. So this week, I encourage you all to choose one sensory practice that helps you soften into receiving. As we wrap up, remember this. Receiving is not a luxury. It's a part of being human. You deserve care, pleasure, support, and softness. Not because you earned it, but because you simply exist. You're alive. When you're practicing receiving, you don't have to start with people. You can start with your senses. Warmth, softness, texture, vibration, breath, candles, a bath. These are all ways your body learns to welcome good things without guilt. And if you're exploring that at home, Laris.store has sensory wellness tools created to help you slow down, tune in, and reconnect with your body in a grounded and intentional way. Think of them as invitations, gentle reminders that you're allowed to feel good. You're allowed to soften, and you're allowed to receive comfort and pleasure without apology. Whether it's something soothing that helps you unwind, a wellness tool that brings you back into your breath, or an item that supports deeper sensory exploration at your own pace, Laris is here to support your shift into receiving. Your body deserves that kind of care. Believe me. I want to thank you all for joining me this week on the Sensual Shift. And if this conversation resonated with you, share it with someone who needs this reminder that receiving is allowed. And until next time, may your practice of the art of receiving and letting good things land take you away.